The scriptures say to judge with righteous judgment. There's a lot of people who take the passage out of Matthew chapter 7 where it says, judge not lest ye be judged, and say, therefore we can never pass a judgment on anything. That is not true. It is not the meaning of that passage. That passage deals with hypocrisy. In other words, if you condemn someone for stealing, but you are stealing, Jesus said, with whatever judgment you judge, you shall be judged. Okay? That's why the scriptures also say, judge with righteous judgment. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall this past Monday night when members of the Birmingham, Alabama Muslim community were meeting to discuss means by which they could protect their Muslim children from becoming radicalized. An unknown young woman of age 20, who right now the press is calling Hoda. She was in Birmingham, Alabama with her parents, and according to the Associated Press story, spent an undetermined amount of time being radicalized by various devout Muslim websites. And the Associated Press story almost comically says that she fled Birmingham to join ISIS. She didn't flee Birmingham. She left Birmingham. Flight is something that you do when you are in danger. Flee for your lives. She didn't flee Birmingham. She forsook it to embrace devout Islam as is expressed in the deeds and the words of ISIS. Now, to go back to the Muslim community, again, the scripture says, judge with righteous judgment. I was having a long discussion with a good friend of mine, Alan Keyes, the other day, and we were talking about the fact that if you were hard-pressed to look in the New Testament to find some place where Jesus or his apostles would condone you or I killing someone because they refused to accept Christ as Lord and God, we couldn't do it. We literally could not find any place in the New Testament that would authorize us to use force or deadly force to compel someone to believe the gospel or to forsake their religion. God can bring threats, and he does. All right? The threat, he said, don't fear him who can kill your body, or rather don't fear him who can kill your body and after that can have nothing to do with you. Fear him who can kill both body and soul in hell. That says fear God. So there is a threat that the Almighty can bring to us, and that is the threat of eternal separation from him. But nowhere in the New Testament can you find a threat to those who don't believe. On the contrary, when James and John came to Jesus and reported that they had preached in a village in Samaria and the people refused to believe, he said, can we, like the prophet Elijah, call down fire from heaven and consume them? And Jesus looked at them and said, you don't know what spirit you are of. The Son of Man did not come to destroy life, but to save it. Conversely, if you were to be hard-pressed to find passages in the Quran or a multitude of passages in the Hadith where force or deadly force was utilized, permitted, even commanded to bring someone to Islam or to suppress a different religion, you could find almost endless examples. And worse yet, if you were to be forced to find passages in the Quran that absolutely forbid someone from using force or lethal force regarding the protection of Islam or the spread of Islam, you really couldn't do it. You really couldn't do it. You can't find Allah saying, thou shalt not kill someone who does not worship me. You can't find Muhammad saying, You don't know what spirit you are of. God didn't send me to take life. He sent me to save it. You can't find it. So when these poor Muslim parents who either don't know their own religion or want to practice Islam light, let's have Islam without all the violence, they can't do it. At the end of the day, they can't do it. And this young woman, God have mercy on her soul, this young woman was radicalized, which means went to the root, right? The radis, right? The root of a thing. As she went to the root and became radical or fundamental, when she went to the foundation of Islam, she found the sword. And she said, I believe in Allah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. She said it, she believed it, and she said, therefore I must obey it. And she forsook her family. And she forsook the lukewarm Muslims of the Birmingham, Alabama community. And she went to where there are on-fire devout Muslims who take their faith seriously, to the point of killing those who don't. I'll be right back.
Hey, everyone's been asking me, when's Unstoppable coming out on DVD? Well, it's here. And I have created my own deluxe signature version of Unstoppable that contains not only the movie, but over 5 hours of additional curriculum and study guides for your family. It's perfect for your homeschool, educational facility, small group Bible study, and family devotions. And I'm going to share with you some of the spiritual warfare that surrounded the release of this film. This box set also includes extended scenes, new music videos, the inside scoop on the whole Facebook controversy. So what are you waiting for? I made this special version with my family in mind, and I know your family will be blessed by it too. Unstoppable 2.0 Deluxe Signature Version, available only here at KurtCameron.com. I can't wait for you to experience what's inside.